What's going on, guys? Well, I know I'm way behind on some videos. Been busy here lately, and me and my uncle just started a window job today as well, but it should only take us a few days. Anyway, as you can see, we're working on the Atlas project. It's going to be a tow truck. I'm still waiting on the tow truck boom to show up. That might be here by Friday, which today's Monday. It was the one item that was going to take the longest. So anyway, let's get to what we got. Last night or yesterday, my wheels arrived. So I had my wheels. We got the winch the other day. That goes on the boom for the tow truck. And we got my wheel weights. Now I got some lights. I'm going to put red tail lights on the truck and maybe some yellow or orange rock lights. We'll see how they look lit up. Ordered me one of them little tow chain deals with some D-ring hooks. Now I should have ordered like 3 or 4 of these actually after I thought about it. It's like, man. And some of these, when you order them, they come with the chain and the cable. I chose just to get one that had a chain, no cable. It was only $6. I should have ordered like a couple of them though. We'll get more. So here is the wheels that I picked out. Now they kind of match exactly what's on there, but what's on there came off of the FCX10 K5 Blazer. My FMS Blazer back there. These are the stock wheels off of that. I pretty much took these off as soon as I got the truck, I think. And then I put them on here not too long ago, but I don't think I've ever even drove it like this. I don't know. I'd have to check and see. But anyway, that don't matter. They're not staying. So, before I show you this, I put these shocks on already. Now, y'all know me. These are my favorite shocks now. They come off Amazon, 20 bucks. You can get them in 70 millimeter like these, on up to 110 millimeter. The only ones that you cannot get 90 millimeter is this color, which is, they say gunmetal gray. I don't know if that's what I'd call them or not. I guess so. Anywho, on the Atlas, the Michigan, or the FJ40, they all have the same platform, same chassis. The shocks that are on here, normally on all of them vehicles, are, I'd have to look it up. I think these are close to like a 65 millimeter, somewhere in that range. The smallest I could find is the 70s, and they are perfect. They really don't change the ride height any, because these springs are so springy, they stay up pretty high. This one, you get some droop on there, not all the way down, but you get some droop. Now the Michigan and FJ40, you get a full droop because they're a lot heavier vehicles, but they work really good. Anyway, the shocks are on. That's my point. That is my 5th set of these shocks, and up until then nothing has been able to come close to performing as good as Desert Lizard shocks. I've tried many different ones. These, dead on comparison. They're not the same type of shock, they don't look the same, but they put out some good performance. Anyway, and like I like that nice slow movement, none of that bouncing all around stuff. Now this truck don't have no weight to it, so it's really hard to see it do much of anything, you know what I mean? But it's nice. And as far as flex, you know, you are only running a 70 millimeter shock. You're not going to get a lot, but it does have more than stock. Just, you know, probably an extra ½ inch in it, something like that. But man, no more bouncy. So anyway, now the wheels. Like I was saying, they pretty much look just like what's on it now, except these are plastic. They're stock. Glue on. They're not bead locks, I don't believe. I don't know actually. No, they glue on. So yeah, I think they're going to be pretty good. And then these weights right here. Now I know everybody likes brass, and I don't even know what they make for these trucks at this moment. I don't think there's too many aftermarket brass parts, but I could be wrong, but I don't know. I haven't really looked, to be honest. So I always add weight to my wheels. Pretty much most of my wheels have weight in them. There's a few that still need weight added, but I prefer it. I've heard people say they don't like you're adding the weight to the what they call the rotational weight because it's on the wheel. I find it's the best because it's out as far as you can get it. It's on the wheel. It's not back here on the hub or the axle. It's in the wheel as far out as possible. That gives you your planet a lot better that way. That's just my opinion, but that's how I feel about it. So here's what you get. Now these are what I order. I think these were only like $7, $8. You get 4 strips, and they will go all the way around the rim, and you will cut off wherever it went. I think one of these will come off of here. It'll wrap all the way around, and then one of these will come off. It won't quite fit all of them, which is good. I don't know where it went, but it's here somewhere. So yeah, there's that. Let me go ahead and figure out where we're at. Oh, and today, this package just showed up. Oh, excuse me. This is my tires, I'd imagine. They should be. We'll open them up in just a second. And also, guys, I have a video with another drone right here that I have to finish. I started the unboxing on this Ameta drone. It's kind of a cheaper one. Now, I really love my Ruco drone right here. That drone is fantastic. That's a GPS drone. It's got a gimbal, everything. Now, this one right here, it is a GPS drone, but it don't have a gimbal. And I'm waiting on a not windy day to get this video done. And the people who sent me the Ruco drone and a lot of other cool stuff, they also send me stuff from Phoenix. Well, they just sent me another drone that I haven't opened yet. We just got it today. Look at that package, good Lord. It says Phoenix right there on the top because I think they have raised letters and it just kind of rubs. You remember when you're a kid, you rub a pencil on raised letters or a quarter even, and it would do that? So that's not actually wrote on this package. It's just got that much dirt on it. But that's heavy. This thing has some weight to it. Oh my. This might even be better than that one. We're going to find out. I think this one's going to be in the same category as my Ruco. Unfortunately for Ameta, this one is a little bit lower. And that's just what I've discovered so far. Nothing against it. I'll give my honest review though, and so far it's not quite on the level. That's why we're waiting on a good day to fly it, and we'll finish that video. Anyway, we'll get to that. Now I got to make another drone video over here too. So now, tires, that's right. Sorry guys, I just got off work a little bit ago. I sat here and kind of rested a little bit before I started this video. I got Pepper in my lap. She's sitting down here, passed out, sleeping. Let's open this box up. Alright guys, this box I just noticed has got like it's like you're supposed to just rip it open or something. It's showing pictures. Let's see, how do you get this open? I don't think I need a knife according to this box thing. I think. Maybe I'm wrong, but there we go. That's how you open it. Pretty cool, I guess. And then, shabam, all that for these tires. So, now I would let you guess on what kind of tires these were and stuff, but I'm going to tell you now, they're not a name brand high dollar tire. We went a different route with these tires. Alright, let me get that back where it's supposed to be. So, now I figure we're running a tow truck. We're not running a comp crawler. So I don't really have to go get Pro Lines or some kind of really good J-Concept tire. I just need something that's going to actually be a little more firm than I normally would get. And if they are good tires and they hook up, that's a bonus. So we'll go with that. Well, then I seen something that caught my eye. Because I like white letters. I always draw the white letters on my tires anyway. It would be nice to not have to draw them for a change. So that's why we went with these cheap ones, because when I seen them, I was like, well, them are the first ones I seen had the lettering, but the tire itself was kind of ugly. Well, it was almost like these Super Swamper tread, but it was a knockoff version of that. But then I seen they had the same writing on another set. I'm gonna have to get a knife out for this. And they had actually a more scale compound or tread, whatever you will call it. So that's why I went with these. Okay, here we go. So let me show you what we got here. First, I'll show you the back. There's nothing on the back. That's kind of cool. So I seen the tread. They actually don't feel bad. They're kind of firm with the foam. I could probably change that up. The tire itself doesn't feel too bad. Again, I'm not expecting a lot of performance here, though. Sorry, I had to shut that drawer back there because Taco wants to always get in it. I just think they look decent. They got a nice tread, and you ready to see what we're all in it for? There you go. We got Hellhound 1.9 crawler tires with a money symbol and a Punisher skull. That's what I think, anyway. You're gonna put a Punisher skull on your tires and put Hellhound? Yeah, it's on now. So again, they have another set of these. If you're looking for a different style of tread, you maybe don't want the more scale looking street tire or whatever. You can get some that are similar to this, sorta. I mean, they're really not like this either, but they're more of a mud tire, I would say. 25 bucks, I think these were. 24, 25, maybe 26, I can't remember. And that's for all four. Now, it's like 30 bucks a set for most any other tire that I like. For Proline, crawlers, BFGs, those are the ones I like the most. Stuff like that. So, that's never good when you got to pay 30 a set. You know, $60 for your tires. So, alright, y'all, now that looks good to me anyway. I mean, it's my opinion. I could do without the skulls or the dollar sign or the Hellhound, but I don't care. They're white letters. That's what I care about. And the tires are actually, I mean, they're firm. I don't know if that's the foam so much as the tire, but that's what I need. It's a tow truck, so we're going to be dragging something behind it sometimes. We need them tires firm. But to be honest, it should side hill really well because of that. They're actually really, they're what I like. And I don't vent my tires when I'm doing them kind of weights. If they're not already vented, I don't vent them because I like air pressure. You have to watch how you put them together to make sure they're even. But that will keep them weights from corroding and rusting and stuff because we're going to keep the water out of it. So hopefully. I'll finish these up right after I help my wife with dinner. So alright, now before we get them tires on there, I got something else I figured we'd take care of. And before I mention that, also Eric, I do got your 3D printed stuff in a box finally over there. I got it packed in that box. I don't know how I got it in there. And it's not the best fit. I probably should get a bigger box, but that's alright. It's in there. So, I got to work next couple of days. I might see if my wife would take it to the post office. I still got to activate the gift card you give me for the shipping. I haven't opened it yet, so I have to activate that bad boy so that she can take it to the post office for me. So, well, anyway, there's that. Now, what I meant by before we get to putting the tires on, since we got all these other things we need to do to the truck, one of which was I just went ahead and I took the motor and ESC out of the LC80. Now, that's because we have the V2 setup coming as soon as they come back in stock. It's a higher kV motor that I want to try out, see if we can get more top speed, and I want to see what the low end is going to be like. But anyway, that's besides the point. Here's what we just took out. I absolutely love this outrunner motor right here. I mean, I honestly was thinking about buying one of these setups for my wife's bug instead of putting a Fusion back in it. I'm kind of curious to see what one would do in the TRX4. I mean, pretty similar setup, so. Anywho. Now these rigs don't have the 2-speed transmission and all that, and I've already got one of these in the FJ40. I know how well they work. That's why we're doing another one, but yeah. So now, speaking of FJ40s and stuff, on that and the mash, again, you got to take the entire body off to do this. I don't know what we got to do on this one. Whether I can just take the cab off and actually get in here, or if I'm going to have to take the bed off in order to get to these screws. Alright, y'all. Never mind all that smoke. We had to run a torch to break an axle loose. You know how that goes when you're working in a garage. No. So, in order to pull these out, it's fairly simple. You got to pop off this cover, make your life easier, which actually goes this way. There's 6 screws, 3 on each side. And then all that holds this motor in is a screw here and a screw over here. Now, in all honesty, probably would be easier to just take this bed off. I think it's only about 4 screws. I went ahead and just used my little hand tool instead of my electric tool and kind of struggled with the length of it, but I got them off there, so good to go there. So here's what we just took out. Here's what's going back in. Big old ESC actually. It's nice. What is this thing? How many amps I wonder? If that was, might be 50 amp, might be an 80 amp, I don't know. Whatever SL50 means. So I didn't really do any homework on the, I know it does 2S or 3S, so we're good there. That's all good. So now, let me go ahead and open this bad boy up. See what gear's on here. I got to take that gear off. Hopefully I don't have no trouble taking that off. God, that could change a whole nightmare, getting them off of here. I just thought that sometimes we struggle there. So, I don't want to keep making this video too long. These trucks have been around so long, I don't feel like I'm the first person doing this or anything. So is this a bigger bit or the same bit? Smaller bit, okay. We'll see if I can't do it with this tool. I always turn them by hand first, and this is all in plastic, so if you're careful, you should be fine on these ones. Now, 2 of these screws is very long. 2 of them is short, 2 of them are real long, which I'll show you here in just a second, but I believe the top ones are just normal size. Nice. I have no screws to replace those with. If I was to mess these up, I got to be super careful because I don't have anything that long. So now, when you pull this off, I don't know if y'all have ever worked on one of these or not, so I'll try to go ahead and show you a little bit. You got your big gear on this one, a small gear there, then it goes through to a big gear on the other side that goes down to the pinion. It's super simple. I think there's like 3 gears on one of the sides, but it's a very simple setup, to be honest. And you got to take all these out just to get to the motor. So there's 4 more screws here. So we got them out. Pop this side off. There's a pin in here. You gotta watch you don't lose it. I'm just trying to keep, it just fell out, but that's all right. As long as we don't lose it, we're good. Put it up here somewhere. Along with all that, hopefully. Now, we got a gear in here we got to just take on out so we don't lose it now. There. So alright, now we got 2 motor screws. So I guess it is adjustable down there. Looks like we're running a similar pinion, but it's got to be flipped over to work. That's weird. That might actually work. We'll see. It's going to be a pain to line up, probably. Alright, let's see what we can do here. So now this, you see how they ran their pinion, and it barely reaches with the lining up. So we need to, might actually have to turn mine over as well. We're going to definitely have to make this line up different. So, Alright, well, I guess I'll have to turn that over, I believe. But it would definitely work better. It's also probably different gear, so let's go ahead and swap the gears as well. See if it's going to be a pain to get off there. Or is that the size? No. Let's see if I even got a good tool that won't strip super easy. Well guys, my battery's about to die. My screen just got dark, so we're going to have to take it off this gimbal so I get it plugged in real quick. Now also, real quick, now I noticed that from where this bolt's on to the end of the shaft, it's pretty close to the same. This one's just a hair longer. And I know this has to go on here until it's flush at the end. So that means over here it just needs to stick past a little bit like that, I think. And we will be money. We'll see. That's just my guess, but we're going to find out. Let me get this thing charging. Shoot. So okay guys, now I started to put it together and didn't show you exactly what I was doing for those that really wanted to know. So let me back up just a little bit here. When I took it off of here, I realized the pinion was dead even with the end of the shaft. So I lined up this motor and this motor, and I realized also from where these bolt holes are to the end of the shaft, this one is only about a 1/16 of an inch more or longer than what's on that motor there. So all I did, since the pinion was flush here, I went ahead and hung it a 1/16 past on that one. Didn't have to do any measuring or nothing. It worked out perfect. You can see inside there, it's just barely down on the nub. You can see it in the hole there. So anyway, and then in order to line up the mesh perfectly, all you got to do, as long as you're still keeping that stock pinion size, is slide the motor all the way up, tighten the 2 bolts, and it will be perfect every time. I really can't just spin it while I'm holding it with one hand, but well, actually I probably can now. Look at that. This thing is butter, man. I'm telling you, buttery smooth. So good. Can't wait. Finish putting it together. This is one of the most simple gearboxes in the world. Okay, you got your pinion motor that turns a smaller, sort of, but the pinion is smaller than the gear next to it. And then it comes over through the shaft, turning this smaller one that's like the size of a pinion. But it's taking that motor, going through a gear and putting another pinion over here, basically. But it's reduced one time already. And then you got a bigger gear here that just comes out to this shaft. It's super simple. I mean, you really, there's no science to it. It just is what it is. So, it's pretty cool. That I got to put 2 screws in, or 4 screws in before I put this on there. I was just showing you how simple it is. It goes like that. So, gear to gear, whatever. Let me get her done. Well, alright y'all, that went together pretty good. Buttery smooth. Let's see if I got the wires coming out in a good spot. Let's see if we do this one-handed as well. Gonna line the dog bone up here. Oops, come on now. Just lost my footing. There we go. Jeez. Put the camera down. I got this thing on charge, so I'm limited right now. There we go. It's nice. Very good. Very good. Let's see how this is going to work. Let me go ahead and get them screws set in there. Alright. We got her in there. Now, it's got a lot of torque when it's turned off. More than you would think. A lot more than a Fusion. But I remember the FJ40, when I put it in there, it was the same way. And I was like, well, that just seems awful tight. But then when you turn the motor, you're like, okay, no, that's perfect. And it doesn't bind when you actually give it throttle. So it just has a lot of torque. You know, it's a good little gearbox setup. I like this simple setup. So let's go ahead and we gotta get this on here so that we can get the ESC figured out. And again, this just sits like this. It actually holds your skid plate at the bottom, and then there's a screw up here that holds part of this up here. Alright, got that piece on. I don't know if we might be able to put this down in here and the body's still closed. If not, I can always move it up to here. See how that works out. I kind of want to get an interior in this thing, you know, sometime or another, if I can find a file to print one, because I'm going to cut them door windows out and try to get a driver. So we'll figure all that out though. I still got to figure out what receiver I'm going to run. I think I'm going to get whatever was in my Toyota up there. Let me get that. Alright guys, we got all the insides buttoned up now. We even got a 2S LiPo in there to test it with. I don't know if you can really see what I got going on. We got everything velcroed in. Everything's pretty much safe, other than, you know, this is there a little bit. What are you doing there, Pepper? You ready to go for a ride in the back of a truck or something, girl? That's my girl. Aww. So anyway, but before we test it out, there's one thing we have to get done first, and that's these tires. So, bam. Oh yeah. Now, that looks good so far. Really, I just need like an awesome patina paint job on it or something. Yeah. Look at them tires and wheels. Oh man, them look good. I'm sure they probably will suck on like rocks or whatever, but I think when it comes to just all round trailing, towing a truck, doing whatever, it's going to be great. Girl, you are tired, ain't you, girl? I literally was sitting here working on this thing, taking the tires off of there. The wheel hex, the plastic hex, was stuck in the rim when I took it off. And she's sitting there with her eyes closed, and I'm taking and bamming it like that on the table, and she just chills, trying to make the little hex come out of the back. But anywho, let me find my Red Cat controller, because that's what's powering this beast. We're going to turn it on. I might have to reverse the motor rotation. Okay, we'll see how this goes. I had to put my phone on charge earlier, so let's see. Let's go ahead and power it on. Hopefully it don't run the cat over. We got headlights, so that's good. I didn't run taillights yet. So now, do we got steering? Yes. I think that's the right direction even, so that's good. So now, I'm going to try to back up without hitting the cat and forward. Nope. Okay, so we do got to reverse wires. That is forward instead of reverse. Oh man, that's sweet though. Now, you don't want to just flip it on the controller, because that's not going to give you full power for forward and park power reverse if it's programmed that way, you know what I mean? So you definitely want to switch the motor wires. Any two, I guess, will work. Alright, so I just went ahead and I switched the yellow and red from one end to the other. Let's turn it on, see if she's going to work now. Nice. I like seeing that motor turn. That's pretty cool. Alright. Let's see, let me back up as slow as I can. That's not bad considering the gearing setup that's in this truck. I mean, there's no kind of fancy high-low gear, none of that. It's just straight up is what it is. Got FOC technology working. She's a mean machine. She keeps her motor clean. Oh. So it looks like now we still got the tow truck boom coming this way. Okay, it should be here before Friday, but any day. It could be tomorrow. And then what else was there? We got the tow truck set up on the back. I feel like there was something else I'm supposed to be doing. Oh, the lights. I got to run my tail lights and possibly some running lights. You know what? Another thing I like about this motor and ESC setup better than the Hobbywing Fusion SE, and I love the Hobbywing Fusion SE, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying I don't. I like this one because the control when it comes to forward, from forward to reverse, if you just happen to jump to it, it doesn't punish you for it like the Fusion will. Like right there, I can just ease into it. I'm kind of being aggressive and it's nice and slow compared to the Fusion. It would just be like jumping everywhere. If I was to come forward like this and then hit reverse like I'm doing now, it would have launched through that wall. This is very forgiving on your trigger finger is what I'm trying to say. So I really like the setup. We need to test it on something anyway, don't we? Jeez, I want to at least try to cross something, but I'm sure this thing's just going to slide right into the cat. Watch. There we go. It's alright, girl. Might want to back up a little bit. She's like, no, I'm not. I trust you. Look at her. She's brave, ain't she? It's like, come on, man. Back up, dude. I'm sleeping. Sorry, girl. Man, this is a nice truck now. So what do you guys think so far? Let me know in the comments. I read every single comment. I give a like and a heart to every single comment. Unless I really don't like it, I guess. But haven't had that issue yet. And if it requires an answer, I pretty much answer every single comment. And until I get overwhelmed to where I can't, I always will. So go ahead and leave a comment. Please like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. We will finish this project in the next couple of days. Again, tow truck, boom, winch, lights for the back and the rock lights, possible 3D print interior if I can find a file. If anybody knows of a file, it can be for a different power wagon. I'll make it work somehow. But if you know of a 3D print file or something, let me know, please. And we'll see what I can come up with. And Eric, we'll get that out to you here real soon. I appreciate everybody, guys. Peace.